In last 200 years of the history of Shimla, especially during the British Raj, there have been many people who were intelligent, smart, witty and mysterious. They earned popularity because of their own personality, their own natural qualities, and people made a lot of myths and tales about them. And these myths and tales with time became more popular. Baba Bhalkhoo was one of these mysterious personalities in Shimla. He was totally uneducated, never went to school, but he earned so much of popularity and appreciation from his British officers that everybody was his fan. Hello everyone, my name is Sumit Raj. I am from Shimla and I run experience providing company named as Shimla Walks. Today in this video we are going to talk about Baba Bhalkhoo and his myths and tales. The most popular myth about Baba Bhalkhoo is that he was the leader of Kalka Shimla Railway track. He was the one who led Mr. Harrington, the chief engineer of Kalka Shimla Railway, and helped him a lot finding the route and laying down the track, and also in making the tunnels and bridges. And to prove it more authentically, railways have opened a museum in his name in Shimla, which is located nearly a kilometer ahead of Shimla railway station. Well, Baba Bhalkhoo had nothing to do with railway. He was no more there in this world when the work of Kalka Shimla Railway was initiated. His name is just being used by the railway authorities to spread the awareness about Kalka Shimla Railway. The museum has nothing to do with Baba Bhalkhoo, and Baba Bhalkhoo had nothing to do with railway. It is just named after him, and one of his statue is installed outside the Baba Bhalkhoo Railway Museum. In the museum, they have kept things collected from different railway stations between Kalka and Shimla, from the holiday homes, from the guest houses, and from the railway stations itself. There are interesting pieces of furniture, chairs and tables, dressing tables, antique pieces of crockery and cutlery, and many other things which are used in locomotives and on the railway stations. The idea of opening this museum is to introduce people to railway and its working system. Nothing to do with Baba Bhalkhoo. Bhalkhoo was born in 1820, and by the time he found his job with Public Works Department, he was more than 20 years old. Till then, he used to take his cattle around, his flock of sheep and goats, to graze them around his village in the hills. He was born in a village called Jagha, which is near Chal, that is 47 km to the southeast of Shimla. He joined Public Works Department as a Jamadar. Jamadar in those days was a post. This word has nothing to do with the person who used to come in the morning to clean the toilets. This word comes from Jamaat Dar. Jamaat is a class, a group or gang, and Dar is the head. So Bhalkhoo was appointed as Jamaat Dar. He was required to look after the group of laborers, and that was his responsibility. Later on, due to his own qualities, he became sub-overseer and then overseer. He retired in 1877 as overseer. During his tenure of more than 30 years of his job, he earned much appreciation from his officers, the military officers, and whosoever came there, he was impressed by his work. His another quality was that he was very honest. Once upon a time, he was appointed as mate, whose responsibility was to look after the gang of laborers. He was responsible to take the money of their salary and distribute it. So he would take the bag full of money, distribute the salary, note down each and everything on paper, and come back to office and give the account. So not even a single penny was given here and there. His other quality was he was like a cliff climber. He was named as a cliff climber because he was appointed on Hindustan Tibet Road. So without having any qualification of engineering, with rod compass, he walked from Kalka to the border of Tibet and aligned the entire length of that road. Most of the time, he was posted between Narkanda and Rampur. So there was not even a single cliff which he could not climb. So he was named as cliff climber. His other quality was that he was very comfortable with the local labor because he was posted most of the time between Narkanda and Rampur. So the labor was obtained from Bushair. Bushair was a dynasty, one of the biggest dynasties around Shimla at that time. So most of the labor class people were from there, and very skillfully he was able to communicate with them, and whatever orders he placed, whatever suggestions he gave, they listened to him and do the work. So that is another reason why the British officers were very much impressed by his way of working. All the officers, before they left for England or to some other part of India, wherever they were transferred, they gave him a letter of appreciation. I have some of the documents and the certificates which I collected from Dr. O.C. Handa. Dr. Handa is an eminent scholar of
These
Shimla.
certificates tell us what kind of appreciation he received from his British officers. First of all, here is an article written in a journal in 1965 by Mr. Brahmanand Sharma. The name of the journal is Himalaya Kalpadruma. Mr. Brahmanand Sharma says,
The legend of Bhalkhoo, the illiterate coolie who first surveyed the present national highway, the Hindustan Tibet Road, is popular among the people of the Shimla hills like a fairy tale. He is known as the man who sprinkled sugar on his matted hair to feed the lice, and one who would throw bags of rice and coins into a stream before spanning it with a bridge to propitiate the fish in it as Matsya Avatar. It is amazing that in spite of all these eccentricities, he was tolerated and held in high esteem by his military officers. A person in government employment with such queer behavior nowadays will be instantly dismissed and sent to a lunatic asylum. Captain William Briggs, Superintendent of Hill States, writes from Shimla on 10th July 1858. Certified that Bhalko Jamadar was employed with field force before Delhi from July to October 1857, and that his excellent qualities were never more usefully applied. He was disbursing agent with the army transport train. Since then, he has been constantly employed on Hindustan and Tibet Road north of Shimla and has done good work. William Briggs, Captain, Superintendent, Hill Roads, Shimla, 10th July 1858. Lieutenant Colonel David Briggs, Superintending Engineer, Bihar Circle, writes from Dharampur on 6th November 1870. Bhalko, I have written twice to Nasir Yusuf Ali, asking him to let you know that I am in the hills, and I want to see you, but Nasir has taken no notice of my letters. I am very ill and scarcely able to write. I go down to Ambala today and then on to Agra. It is a great disappointment to me not to have seen you, and Yusuf Ali seems to blame for it. If I live, I shall now go by easy stages to Bombay and then to Europe. I will never return to India. I shall always take the greatest interest in everything concerning you, for you were always the most honest, active, true-hearted man I have known in India. If you would write to me at Agra and address the letter to the house of Major Ross, R.A., and tell me what you would like me to send you from England, I would be glad. I know you care for few worldly things, but there may be some one thing which you would like. I give this into the hands of Mudari Khan, whom I am sorry to see in such bad circumstances after the good work he did in former days. I will write no more, but wishing you contentment and success in pleasing those officers that are placed over you. I am ever your well-wisher and friend, David Briggs, Lieutenant Colonel, Superintending Engineer, Bihar Circle. Similarly, I have more than 11 certificates and letters which are given to Baba Bhalko by his British officers between 1858 to 1878.
Bhalko got retired in 1878. After that, he became a sadhu. By that time, his age was nearly 60 years.
he would sit outside his house. Most of the time he spent in meditation. He would burn dhuni, the holy fire, and sit next to it and meditate for a long time. And later on, he started moving around in the company of holy men, sages, sadhus. And by the last years of his life, he went on pilgrimage to visit different temples in the mountains. And finally, he went to Jagannath Puri in Odisha, to the east of India, where one day the group of sadhus along with Bhalko, they were standing in the temple, and they saw him and disappearing in the air, which is a myth, unbelievable, never came out. And after that, the project of Kalka Shimla Railway was initiated. So I think the railway authorities have got pretty good idea that Bhalko had no association with the railway. Rather, he worked for PWD. He did not help anyone. It was his job. This was the responsibility that he was given, but he did it in a very professional manner, and he was very much committed and dedicated to his work. That's why the British officers appreciated him. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your patience. We are growing episode by episode and receiving your appreciation and your love, your affection. Subscribe the channel, please like it, share it, and make comments. And to know more about Shimla, you can also visit our website shimlawalks.com. So see you in next video. Goodbye till then. Thank you so much. God bless you all.